This is a scene we all encounter very often in our daily life. Two well-dressed men in suits and shaking hands. Is there anything wrong here? However, whenever money is inappropriately exchanged between parties, it triggers a compensation. This is a so-called back transaction. Why is it a problem? What do you think?
There are a lot of problems with our government officials, and one of those is the fact that they use their position to enrich themselves massively. They take our taxpayer money for their personal benefits, and it's unfair. They are stealing our taxpayer money, and we should fight that. And it's not just limited to public officials, but it also concerns private companies. They face the same corruption problem. It's unfair, and it's a violation of the rights of those like us who work hard and try to follow the law every day.
Hello, I am Pastor Song Tae Hong, and I work for an NGO called Peacemakers. If we think of a nation or society as a body, then corruption represents to this body a malignant tumor or a cancer cell. So even if there is no visible symptoms right away, it destroys the body and can lead to death. People in power are generally perpetrators of corruption, which makes it even more difficult to diagnose, just like cancer cells. This means that fighting corruption sometimes comes with serious threats. Therefore, to combat corruption requires a great sense of duty, as much as a doctor fighting against cancer to save lives. I would like to congratulate all those fighting to eliminate corruption and make our societies healthier.
Hello, I am Jeon Hyun Pui, chairperson of the Anti-Corruption and Civil Rights Commission, ACRC, of Korea. Since the establishment of diplomatic relations between our two nations, Korea has a very special relation with Colombia. Indeed, Colombia was the sole country from Latin America to participate during the Korean War. Colombian troops fought for peace in Korea, giving their lives to seal our alliance in the blood of their sacrifice. Also, Korea was the first Asian country Colombia agreed to sign an FTA with, expanding the scope of our cooperation to commerce and trade. The Anti-Corruption and Civil Rights Commission is the main public agency in charge of establishing an anti-corruption reporting system in public institutions of Korea. We have also worked over the years with Transparency International to improve our Corruption Perception Index, CPI, globally. It is a great joy for us to share that experience with one of our strongest allies. Through this feasibility study project for establishment of an anti-corruption reporting system in Colombia. Hello. I would like to extend a cordial greeting to the government of the Republic of South Korea, especially to the Anti-Corruption and Civil Rights Commission, ACRC, for the support provided in the consolidation of a system for reporting acts of corruption in Colombia. There is no doubt that today, corruption has become the main battle we face in the world and in our country. This phenomenon is a global and national problem that threatens all standards of good, our actions as public officials, and has very high costs for all citizens, decreasing trust and deepening the absence of legitimacy in the institutions. Therefore, the Colombian government, led by the President of the Republic, Dr. Ivan Duque, and the Vice President, Marta Lucia Ramirez, has redoubled all efforts to counteract corruption, lay solid base, and make structural changes to mitigate existing risks, improve the relationship between the state and citizens, but, above all, restore confidence in institutions and public servants. For this reason, in recent years, we have activated public policy strategies that seek to consolidate public compliance in Colombia. The Interinstitutional Transparency and Anti-Corruption Network, RITA, was created, which to date comprises more than 240 transparency officers throughout the country. Make use of technology and open data to perform preventative analytics and generate early warnings that allow informed decision-making. For this purpose, the Anti-Corruption Portal of Colombia, PACO, was created. Strengthen the institutional capacities of Colombian public entities in anti-corruption matters through objective measurements such as the National Anti-Corruption Index, INAC. These are just some of the efforts and tools that we have put into operation, but there are many others that have allowed us to join forces with the private sector, academia, and organized civil society to materialize the Alliance Against Corruption that our National Development Plan speaks of, and that is vital in this fight, which is a co-responsibility of all actors and sectors. However, we know that we can do much more if we manage to establish the first system for reporting acts of corruption in Colombia, which can be radiated in all national and subnational government entities. For this reason, we thank the government of Korea for the work and support they have given us throughout this project, bringing us closer to this important goal, following their experience and the highest international standards. Thank you.
Korea has taken many actions to fight corruption, all with some great successes so far. Korea is currently doing a lot in the anti-corruption area in cooperation with the international community. ACRC has been at the center of all of these actions. Hence, its involvement in the feasibility study project for establishment of anti-corruption reporting system in Colombia. The purpose was to analyze the current status of anti-corruption in Colombia, design the system, and develop an implementation plan. The project was carried out in Korea and Colombia for about 6 months. Right after launching of the project, several bilateral meetings were held via video conference. After then, a team of Korean experts traveled to Colombia to discuss the details of the anti-corruption reporting system in Colombia during the interim report. They also introduced the Colombian counterparts to the activities undertaken by the Korean government to fight corruption. Then they interviewed officials from various Colombian administrations regarding the current status, issues, and expectations with regards to the project. Finally, they designed the future detailed model of the anti-corruption reporting system in Colombia. The output of that collaboration between the two countries is this big picture of the future: Anti-Corruption Reporting System of Colombia. Our goal is to establish an anti-corruption reporting system that is a safe, unique, and trustworthy source of anti-corruption information for the public. Through this, our vision is to improve the quality of life of Colombian people by eradicating corruption and improving the Corruption Perception Index. In order to achieve this vision, we have designed a 3-area action plan. The first action is to deploy an anti-corruption reporting system called PACO that automates the entire process of reporting and handling corruption. Secondly, using PACO to improve the reporting process. Finally, improve the legal and administrative system to strengthen anti-corruption activities. The deployment of PACO will provide an anti-corruption-related information by integrating various systems used by public institutions. After the service opening, anti-corruption activities of all public institutions will be organically connected, increasing their overall efficiency. Also, policymakers will be provided with statistical information and advanced analytics for anti-corruption policy formulation. Most importantly, it will provide citizens with accurate information and enable them to conveniently report corruption.
I anticipate that this feasibility study project will be successful and allow in a near future the deployment of an anti-corruption reporting system in Colombia. I am particularly proud that our government can partner with the Colombian president and vice president in their efforts to combat corruption, efforts that led them eventually to personally visit Korea. The Anti-Corruption and Civil Rights Commission of Korea will spare no effort to support the anti-corruption reporting system in Colombia and help prepare for a successful deployment of this system. I hope that through this, our countries become stronger partners in the global fight for a corruption-free world. Thank you.
Who is supposed to tackle corruption? Can the government solve the corruption problem entirely? Could lawmakers solve it by passing perfect laws and regulations? There's no place on earth where laws are perfect. Should the millions of government officials voluntarily participate in the fight against corruption? Even so, private companies will not give up the benefits they can get through corrupt methods. Can ordinary citizens like me and my family do it? It is difficult to get involved in activities that make you uncomfortable. Government, officials, private companies, civil society, and individuals should all be involved. A corruption-free future can only be created through cooperation of all members of society.
No one is more important than citizens to take care of the proper use of public resources. And therefore, it is of vital importance to have reliable tools and clear procedures that confidentially alert the competent agencies about suspected misconduct through appropriate reporting channels to prevent acts of corruption. With the support of Korean experts in the implementation of their best practices developed in recent years in the fight against corruption, including effective reporting channels, we'll undoubtedly have an impact on strengthening the existing ones in the different entities of control, investigation, prosecution, and prevention in Colombia, especially in the Transparency Secretariat of the Presidency of the Republic.
Korea is willing to join Colombia's war on corruption. If you go alone, you go fast. But if you go together, you go far. Only when we go hand in hand can we reduce corruption, and the effect will be visible little by little. Corruption should be wiped out until it disappears from the earth entirely. Anti-corruption is our endless homework until corruption is eliminated. If not today, we must move forward with hope for tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, someday we will overcome. For me and my children, for my neighbors, and for my country. The future belongs to all of us.